I am continuing in my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am continuing reading in a chronological order, according to event, not according to publication or volume, so I'm skipping around a bit as I move along. So we're continuing in Alma, and we're just starting the wars with Amalickiah, the famous war chapters. Of course, there's a lot of war chapters, but these are the most famous. We just put down the king men. We're trying to change the law and get rid of Pehoran, son of Nephites. Moroni puts him down. While all that controversy is going on, Amalickiah is able to invade going up the east coast, but he is eventually stopped and slain by Teancum. We are now moving in, this will be chapter 52. But during this period of this war, we're going to be jumping around a bit because there's both the eastern and western theaters of war here. Amalickiah himself came up in the east, and after he's killed, his brother will take over, and we'll read about that a little later. But then there's the western campaign, and they're happening at the same time, and so we're going to be skipping around a little bit as we read a little bit in the east and then a little bit in the west, and so on. So right now, this video is chapter 52. We're going to read the first 14 verses. Ammoron succeeds Amalickiah as king of the Lamanites. Moroni, Teancum, and Lehi lead the Nephites in a victorious war against the Lamanites. The city of Mulek is retaken, and Jacob the Zoramite is slain. And now it came to pass in the 26th year of the reign of the judges over the people of Nephi, behold, when the Lamanites awoke on the first morning of the first month, behold, they found Amalickiah was dead in his own tent. And they also saw that Teancum was ready to give them battle on that day. And now when the Lamanites saw this, they were affrighted, and they abandoned their design in marching into the land northward, and retreated with all their army into the city of Mulek, and sought protection in their fortifications. And it came to pass that the brother of Amalickiah was appointed king over the people, and his name was Ammoron. Thus King Ammoron, the brother of King Amalickiah, was appointed to reign in his stead. And it came to pass that he did command that his people should maintain those cities which they had taken by the shedding of blood. For they had not taken any cities, save they had lost much blood. And now Teancum saw that the Lamanites were determined to maintain those cities which they had taken, and those parts of the land which they had obtained possession of. And also seeing the enormity of their number, Teancum thought it was not expedient that he should attempt to attack them in their forts. But he kept his men round about, as if making preparations for war. Yea, and truly he was preparing to defend himself against them, by casting up walls round about, and preparing places of resort. And it came to pass that he kept thus preparing for war, until Moroni had sent a large number of men to strengthen his army. And Moroni also sent orders unto him that he should retain all the prisoners who fell into his hands. For as the Lamanites had taken many prisoners, that he should retain all the prisoners of the Lamanites as a ransom for those whom the Lamanites had taken. And he also sent orders unto him that he should fortify the land bountiful, and secure the narrow pass which led into the land northward, lest the Lamanites should obtain that point, and should have power to harass them on every side. And Moroni also sent unto him, desiring that he would be faithful in maintaining that quarter of the land, and that he would seek every opportunity to scourge the Lamanites in that quarter, as much as was in his power, that perhaps he might take again by stratagem or some other way those cities which had been taken out of their hands, and that he also would fortify and strengthen the cities round about, which had not fallen into the hands of the Lamanites. And he also said unto him, I would come unto you, but behold, the Lamanites are upon us in the borders of the land by the west sea, and behold, I go against them. Therefore I cannot come unto you. Try that verse again. And he also said unto him, I would come unto you, but behold, the Lamanites are upon us in the borders of the land by the west sea, and behold, I go against them. Therefore I cannot come unto you. Now the king, Ammoron, had departed out of the land of Zarahemla, and had made known unto the queen concerning the death of his brother, and had gathered together a large number of men, and had marched forth against the Nephites on the borders by the west sea. And thus he was endeavoring to harass the Nephites, and to draw away a part of their forces to that part of the land, while he had commanded those whom he had left to possess the cities which he had taken, that they should also harass the Nephites on the borders by the east sea, and should take possession of their lands as much as it was in their power, according to the power of their armies. And thus were the Nephites in those dangerous circumstances in the ending of the 26th year of the reign of the judges over the people of Nephi. So here we have the beginning of the western theater of the war. See, if you recall, the plan of Amalickiah was to march along the eastern shore and get into the land northward, so that then they would be surrounding the Nephites. Amalickiah is killed in his sleep, and the army of the Lamanites retreats from Teancum into their fortification. Now Teancum, he's just setting up, he's building up small forts that his army can move between and harass them as much as possible, but he's given orders to maintain what they still have, and especially to cut off the Lamanites from the land northward. Moroni himself says he's going west because Ammoron, the new king, he takes a portion of the army. He's gone down out of the land of Zarahemla, so he's back down to the Lamanites at first. He goes back down there, brings the news of the death of Amalickiah. Then he gathers a new army and goes into the west. In this way, hoping to divide the armies of the Nephites so that they only have to contend with smaller armies. They don't have the larger armies to fight. And that's where we leave this. This is how this is going on. The Lamanites are now in the east and in the west, and they're driving up north, and they're trying to encircle the Nephites, trying to hem them in, but also divide their forces so that they're easier to fight. We will actually be turning to chapter 56 next, so I will see you there.